Hello, today's our topic is medium transmission line. In a previous lecture, we studied about the short transmission line and types of overhead line and types of transmission line. In a transmission line, there is mainly two types: overhead transmission line and underground cables. Now, in overhead transmission line, short, medium, and long transmission line. In previous lecture, we briefly discussed about these three types of transmission line and the voltage level and length of this transmission line. In this lecture, we study the medium transmission line, which is a part of chapter transmission line modeling performance, which is in subject power system 2 in semester 5th. Now, in a short transmission line calculation, the effect of line capacitance we are neglected because the line has a smaller length and transmit power at relatively a 20 kilowatt low voltage value. But when we increase the voltage level and distance between these two lines is increased, the capacitance is gradually increasing, so that we have to consider capacitance in this calculation. We have not neglected the value of capacitance. So, in order to obtain a reasonable accuracy in medium transmission line calculation, line capacitance we have considered in account. The capacitance is uniformly distributed over the entire length of the line. Now, in order to make the calculation simple, the line capacitance is assumed to be lumped or concentrated in the line capacitance across the line at one or more point. Such a treatment of localizing the capacitance, we have used three methods for the calculation of medium transmission line. The three method for solution of medium transmission line we have used is like the N conditioner method, T method and pi method. Here we see in the equivalent circuit of these three methods. Here is the N conditioner method, T method and pi method. In N conditioner method, we have seen that the capacitance which is lumped near the end of the transmission line at the receiving end side, we assume that the whole capacitance which is lumped and nearest to the load side or a receiving side. In a T method, we assume that a capacitance is near as the midpoint of the transmission line. So, the all others value of the transmission line like resistive and reactance will be half of both the part. We have seen in the figure at the midpoint of the line, and it's shaped like a T, so we name as a T method. And third one is in pi method. In pi method, we see that there is a pi type method. In this, we divide the capacitance in a two half value, and one is on receiving end side and second one is in sending end side. We assume that the capacitance is lumped half of the sending end side and half of the receiving end side, and calculate this capacitance, resistance and inductive drop value, and then sending end voltage and sending end current. In this lecture, we study N condenser method and the calculation of N condenser method, and the example is based on the N condenser method. First of all, in N condenser method, we have seen in the figure here. Here is the sending end voltage, and here is the current will be passing through the source side, a sending end current which is sent by the source, and here is the receiving end current which is taken by the load, and here is the voltage between load or receiving end voltage VR. Here is the capacitance C. Here is the current flowing in the capacitor, and R and XL which is resistance and reactance of the transmission line, and cos phi r which is an receiving end power factor. In this we also taken as a lagging voltage. Now we calculate the medium transmission line with using N condenser method. Here we see we are use a capacitance in a end side of transmission line or a receiving end side. Now with the help of phasor diagram, we can calculate the sending end voltage, sending end current, sending end power factor with the help of N condenser method. Now we see the what is the procedure to find out the sending end voltage and sending end current and sending end power factor with the help of N condenser method in a medium transmission line. Now here see in the figure we have a medium transmission line with N condenser capacitance are there. Here the voltage between voltage in a sending receiving end is VR, and also the voltage between capacitance is also a VR. A current flowing in them is IC and current flowing in receiving end is IR. Now R and XL, which is an impedance, a resistance and inductive reactance, and sending end voltage Vs and sending end current Is. Now from this equivalent circuit we draw a phasor diagram based on the N condenser method. First of all, we used VR as a reference line or as a reference voltage VR. So from the origin we draw the VR line here. So VR taken as a reference. Now angle between VR and IR, which is called the power factor angle. So the power factor is cos phi r, we assume that, and this, so angle between the VR and IR is a phi r. So we draw a line current IR here with angle phi r. We have seen in the figure here. So VR and here is the IR. Ready? Now current. Now we see here that a voltage between load VR, which is equal to the voltage between capacitance VR, and the current flowing in the circuit IC, which is belongs to this voltage VR, and current flowing in the capacitor. We know that a capacitor current is a leading current, a 90 leading with the voltage. So current in a resistive current, in a current IR, we know that current IC is a 90 angle with the VR. So here we draw current IR and current IC with the 90 angle with VR. So here IR and here IC. Now here we see that current IS will flowing and divided into two current IR and current IC. So total sum of IR and IC, which is equal to IS. So here resultant of IR and IC, which is IS, sending end current. Now angle between the voltage Vs and sending end current Is, which is phi s, sending end power factor angle. Now we draw the line of voltage drop. Now here we see that current flowing in the resistance and reactance is Is. So resistive drop is parallel to the current Is. Here is the Is parallel to current Is are a resistive drop. Same with the 90 angle with the current Is, reactive drop, which is Is into XL. Now both the sum of both the drop, which is equal to impedance drop, a resultant drop we see in the figure ISIR and ISXL. Here ISZ, which is resultant drop. So a voltage VR and total impedance drop, which is equal to total voltage Vs, we have seen in figure, and draw the line Vs. Now our phasor diagram is completed. Now here we see that from the figure VR is a reference line, so VR at angle 0. So the vector value of VR, which is VR plus J0. Now find out the load current. A vector value of load current IR, which is equal to magnitude IR and angle cos phi r. From the angle we find the complex form of cos phi r. Angle phi r is cos phi r minus j sin phi r. Now capacitance current IC, which is equal to a voltage VR into j omega c, which is called a XC, a capacitive reactance. So capacitive reactance into voltage VR, which is equal to current IC. Now omega, which is equal to 2 pi f, so put the value here. So capacitive current, which is equal to j 2 pi f c VR. Now the sending end current IS in phasor sum of load current IR and capacitive current IC. Here we see that IS, which is equal to sum of IR and IC. So put the value of IR from here and IC, which is j 2 pi f c VR. Now calculating equation, we get IR cos phi r plus j minus IR sin phi r plus j 2 pi f c VR, and voltage drop per phase, which is equal to IS into Z from our vector diagram. Put the value of Z is which is equal to R plus JXL. Now sending end voltage, which is equal to Vs, a resultant sum of VR plus IS Z. So Vs is equal to VR plus IS Z. Now the magnitude of sending end voltage Vs can be calculated by voltage regulation. If we have a value of voltage regulation and a receiving end voltage, we find out the value of sending end voltage from this equation. Now voltage transmission efficiency, a transmission efficiency which means that output upon input. Here our output, which is power delivered per phase, and input, which is power delivered per phase plus losses. So power delivered, which is VR, IR, cos phi r, receiving end voltage and current, and here our losses, which is copper losses plus our power delivered. So from this equation we find out the voltage transmission efficiency. Here is some limitation of N condenser method are here. There is a considerable error in calculation because the distributed capacitance has been assumed to be lumped or concentrated. Here we not considered a capacitance as a distributed parameter, we consider as a lumped parameter, so that the capacitance value we calculated is 10% error are produced, and this method is overestimate the effect of line capacitance. Now we see the example based on a single phase transmission line, a medium transmission line with the N condenser method. In previous we discussed about the calculation and vector diagram for the calculating the transmission line. Now we have calculated. Here we have some example. A single phase transmission line with 100 km long has the following constant: a resistance per kilometer, which is 0.25 ohm, a reactance per kilometer, which is 0.8 ohm, a suspense per kilometer, which is 40 into 10 raised to minus 6 Siemens, and receiving end voltage, which is 66,000 volt. Assuming that total capacitance of the line is localized at the receiving end alone, determine the sending end current, sending end voltage, regulation, supply power factor. The line is delivering 15,000 kilowatt at 0.8 power factor lagging. Now draw the phasor diagram to illustrate your calculation. First of all, for this example, we have to draw a phasor diagram for a medium transmission line, And also here given a total capacitance of the line is localized at receiving end. So the capacitance is near the receiving end, same as an n conventional method. So we draw the phasor diagram. Then here is some data we are getting, like resistance is a 0.25 ohm per kilometer value. So we have a 100 kilometer, so that resistance which is 25 ohm multiplied by 100, XL which is equal to 0.8 multiplied by 100 kilometer which is 80 ohm, a suspendance which is 14 into 10 raised to minus 6 multiplied by 100 kilometer line, and we get total suspendance 14 into 10 raised to minus 4 Siemens. A receiving one voltage which is 66,000 volt. Now find out the load current. A load current which is equal to IR. So the P is equal to VR IR cos phi R. Equation we know that. From this equation we get a value of load current. So IR which is equal to PR, a receiving end power, which is given 15,000 kilowatt, and this kilowatt we have convert into a watt. So 15,000 into 10 raised to 3 divided by our receiving end voltage VR, which is 16,000 volt, into a power factor which is 0.8, and we get the value of current IR. Now here also given a power factor is 0.8. So cos phi R which is equal to 0.8. Now from this we get the value of phi R by cos inverse 0.8, and then put the value of phi R in a sin phi R, and we get value of sin phi R is 0.6. Now the receiving end voltage we have taken as a reference. So first of all we draw the phasor diagram. In phasor diagram our receiving end voltage VR taken as a reference voltage. With the VR angle phi R, our power factor angle phi R, we draw the line current IR here. Now the capacitive current IC which is 90 angle with the current with the voltage VR. So we draw the at 90 angle to the VR current IC value. Now IC and IR resultant which is IS. So draw the line IS here. Now angle between voltage, draw the line IS here, and parallel to IS our resistive drop, and with the 90 angle of to IS our reactive drop. So draw the both line. The resultant of both the ISR and ISXL, which is ISZ, which is our total impedance drop. So draw the line of impedance drop. Now VR plus total impedance, which is called our sending end voltage Vs. So draw the line sending end voltage. Now angle between Vs and Is we find, which is called phi S, our sending end power factor angle. So our phasor diagram is completed. Now from the phasor diagram, first of all we see the VR is a reference voltage. So the angle to the axis which is 0. So the vector value of VR which is equal to magnitude VR plus J0, which is 16,000 volt. Now vector value of current IR which is equal to magnitude IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R we previously described. Put the value of cos phi R and sin phi R which is given in, and IR which is find out 284. So put all the three value here, and we get the value of IR 227 minus J 127. Now the current IC we find out by VR into Y, which is our suspensions, as the value is given, which is 14 into 10 raised to minus 4, and VR which is 66,000 volt kilowatt. Now put the value here and we get a 92 J value for the capacitive current. Now find out sending end current. Sending end current, which is from the phasor diagram, which is IS, which is equal to IR plus IC. So put the value of IR and IC here. We get the value of vector IS. Now find out the magnitude of IS. We have used our under root x square plus y square equation. So here 227 square plus 78 square, which is equal to 240. Now voltage drop, which is equal to IS into Z. Now Z is equal to R plus JXL. Put the value of R and XL here and current IS from the above equation 1, and we get the value of IS. We get the value of voltage drop. Now sending end voltage Vs, which is equal to VR plus ISZ. So put the value of VR and IS and Z, we get the sending end voltage Vs. Now find out the magnitude of Vs. Under root x square plus y square. So here 77,915 square plus 16,210 square. We get an under root of whole, we get the value of Vs. Now the voltage regulation. Now from the voltage regulation equation is here, which is equal to Vs minus VR upon VR into 100. Here sending end voltage minus receiving end upon receiving end voltage. From this equation, we get the value of voltage regulation. Put the value of Vs, sending end voltage, receiving end voltage, VR, and we get the value 20.58% voltage regulation. Now we have to find out our power factor angle for us sending end side. So find out the sending end power factor. First of all, we see the phasor diagram. In a phasor diagram, we know that angle between VR and angle between IR, which is equal to phi R, a power factor angle between receiving end, phi R. So Vs and IR between angle is phi R, we have seen in the figure. Now another angle we have described is angle between Vs and Is, which is equal to phi S, and which is called angle between Vs and Is, which is called the power factor angle for a sending end, which we want to find out. Now we have an equation of Vs, which is equal to Vs VR plus Is Z. From this equation, we get the value of Vs, and from the Vs equation we get the angle, and this angle between Vs and VR. So a theta 2, here we see that a theta 2, which is the value of Vs, a tan inverse y by x. So put the value from above equation of Vs here, a 16210 and 77915, which is we value get from the equation of Vs, and put the value here and we get the value of theta 2, which is 11.50. Now theta 2 is we have an angle phi R also. Now we find out the angle between IR and IS. We have an equation of IS, which is equal to IR plus IC. From this equation we get the value of theta 1. So angle between them, we have put the value of y by x. So y by x, imaginary value of is and a real value of is, we get the angle between them, which is tan inverse minus 0.3436, and the value of angle is minus 18.96. So we have both the angle theta 1 and theta 2. Now from here, a angle between VR and IR, which is phi r, minus theta 1, and we get the value of angle between VR and IS. Now sum of theta 2 plus this angle between IS and VR, we get the value of angle between VS and IS. We have seen in the figure. Here see that here the angle between VR and IR, which is phi r. Now minus theta 1 in from the here, we get the angle value between VR and IS. Now we want to find out angle between VS and IS. So we add this angle into theta 2 and we get total phi s. So power factor angle phi s, which is equal to power factor angle phi s, which is equal to theta 2 plus this angle, which is 18.96 plus 11.50, and we get 30.46, which is equal to 5s. Now a supply power factor which is equal to cos phi s, put the value of phi s and we get 0.86 lagging value of power factor phi s. Now in this lecture we study on edge condition method for a medium transmission line. In next lecture we have studied a T method and a pi method for find out the sending end voltage and sending end current, transmission efficiency, voltage regulation for a medium transmission line. Thank you.